if you think about activating the force within yourself, you have to first face the fact. If you want something different, you have to go to the option of changing. And that leads us into the response. And then C, which is the consequence of your actions. And then the E is the evolution. If you are tired of not feeling fit, tired of just not having focus, tired of just missing out on the life that you truly desire, this is your place to be. I'm Yarusi. This is the Live Energy Podcast. Today, we are talking about actions and results, consequences, inaction, and all the things that we have put up as roadblocks in our life to not truly get what really we should have, right? And it sounds so easy, but if you think about it here, are you crafting your life or are you just living your life? Are you on track for what you want, or are you just on a path and you're not quite sure how you got here? Now, if any of these things are true and you've come here because you're looking for clarity, I'm hoping that we can impart on one simple set of actions today to put together what can be your roadmap for getting the ultimate results that you're looking for. So if you're looking for a framework, if you're looking for an idea, if you're looking for a way to push forward, let's trend off of what has happened, right? So we have May the 4th, right? If you're a Star Wars fan, you know all of this, the hope, the Star Wars, just the brand itself. And it's fun to play on words with May the 4th. And you have Revenge of the 6th, right? With May the 6th being today. So I was thinking about just actions and consequences and just how that can really set the tone for the potential of your impact here in this journey. And when I was thinking about what I've done, the 5 things that I look at in terms of going out there and setting the tone and taking action and getting results and just ultimately changing my life, it came down to the word force. And force can be broken out in many ways. But if you think about the force that's behind you in your life, right? You think about just even how that word plays, if you are a Star Wars fan, into Star Wars overall, just the power of the force of how it plays throughout those movies, just the impact it has, just the ability it has to create change, both good and bad, right? Well, if you think about activating the force within yourself, you have to first face the fact, right? F is the fact. And that's the truth, like the real truth of how you're showing up today. The truth in terms of, are you a good husband? Are you keeping in shape? Are you committing to something that you say you're going to do? Are you really pushing forward to just go after the ideas that you've had that could be fantastic out there? Are you pushing forward in your business? Are you helping others? Are you catapulting others forward? And if you're not, the truth, right? The real truth is that you're not. And the fact is that if you want something different, you have to go to the option of changing what has been your past so far. So this is your choice, right? This is your ultimate choice to choose something different, to choose a different path than what has been comfortable, than what has been your roadmap so far. And that leads us into the response. R is the response, and that's your action, right? So you faced it with the real truth of where you stand today. You've made the choice that you're no longer going to settle for what you have. You're going to change the path. You're going to change the course by having the response of the actions that are now going to replace what you have done prior to these steps. Now, we have to get back to the option part. A choice that many times we don't actually talk about is the choice of doing nothing. That, in fact, is a real choice, which can get you back to the fact, the truth of where you are today. Because if you choose to stay in the comfort zone, to stay in this place that's warm and fuzzy and makes you feel good sometimes, but you're not getting the true results, that's your choice. You've chosen not to push forward, not to go after the life that you truly desire, not to go after the truth of what you could potentially be. That is a real truth. But if you're here in the option of choosing greatness, I'm choosing something bigger and choosing something better and choosing something more awesome in your life, well, then there's the actions you're going to take. Now, with the actions, there is the force of both sides of good and evil, right? You could take actions to sabotage yourself, to put yourself off the right path, to go and do things that are going to disrupt you from creating greatness in your life, saying, I'm not worthy, drinking too much, going and just falling back into bad habits. Those are reactions to the action that you're trying to do to be better. So if you are taking negative actions, and it gets back to the fact, the truth, and you have to start again to say, okay, my truth is that I want to be better, but I was choosing the wrong actions and I was sabotaging myself. So now my option, my choice is to stop that narrative and get back to true actions that can help carry me forward to a greater version of myself. And that leads me into C, which is the consequence of your actions, the results, right? So we talk about bad actions and you will get bad results, and that bad results may lead you into a darker path, a darker place, a worse place, or it starts to create better results. It starts to create a better outcome. It starts to have that ripple effect where things start to build, start to snowball, start to create more clarity in what you truly desire in your life. But if you're getting bad results, bad consequences, then you have to step back and say, okay, what are the actions I'm doing, and pivot. Life is all about having a problem to solve in all sides of it. And you're actively problem solving your life. And you have to be aware that when you choose actions that are not fitting for the desired outcome, and you start to get results that don't track for what you want in life, it is not, oh, let's just keep doing these same actions and hopefully something brighter will come up there. It's the problem solving mechanism in your mind has to go, okay, I've done this action, I've gotten this result. And with that result, I've tried this action and that's gotten me that result. So what is the solution for me to solve for now? What is the solution to the problem I have now in hand that the actions I've tried have not worked? So what do I need to do? This is a constant plug and play in your life. And you have to be aware that it's okay to have setbacks. It's okay to have failures because that's part of the problem solving, right? If you want to get to a better relationship with your wife, what is the problem solving there, right? If you want to be a better father, if you want to get more fit, if you want to make more money, what is the solution? What are the problems that you're facing right now? And what are some of the things that you can work out as part of those problems to find a better or different solution? So many times we get stuck in just saying, I have a problem. But we forget that we are all problem solving. At all points in your life, each and every day, you're problem solving, whether you want to or not. You're hungry, you go after food. Now with that, you might go after just what's quick fix and right in front of you, sugar high, or just these things that don't treat your body right. Or you're hungry, you're understanding that you need fuel for your body to be able to carry yourself forward, right? You're constantly problem solving. You just have to see it in that fact to say, okay, my fact is here that my truth is I'm not showing up in the best light. My option is to choose to be a better person. My response is I start to do actions that align with being a good person. And the consequence, the results is that if I start to do some things, it starts to make other people happier. It starts to bring more progress and purpose in my life. And then the E is the evolution. That's the new truth. So you started on the left side with the truth of where you stood today, where you didn't want to be. And as you walk through and you use the force to your advantage, and you use the force to carry you forward, you create the new truth. And the new truth becomes the better version of you, the version of you that you've been seeking, the version of you that you've been willing for, the version of you that you've been wanting in your life. Now you can do this in all facts, right? This doesn't just have to be one broad brushstroke. This doesn't have to be just one big swatch. This can be in every part. You can look in your fitness. Okay, what's the fact? Okay, what are my options? What's the response I can take? What are the consequences of that response? And what is going to be the evolution of the path I just took? If you want to make more money, okay, what is the fact? What's my truth right now of the money? Am I good with money? How much money I have? What's my option, right? What are the choices I have in front of me to go out there and make more money? What are the responses? Now, the actions that I get from taking control of my monetary situation. And what are the consequences or results that come from the actions I'm taking? And how does that change the evolution? How does that evolve me as a person? You can use this in all formats of your life in all different ways, in all different versions. You just say, okay, if I feel a little lonely, or I feel a little setback, or I feel a little lost, how can I use the force in my life? All right, that's what I have for today. I'm Jason Yarusi. Go out there, seek greatness, and maybe with a little hope, you can find the journey that you're seeking. Let's do this.